Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening, or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share, and play. Guess what? Another Your Creative Studio unboxing. Whee! Amanda asked me again to do another little unboxing for you, and I jumped at the chance because I love her vintage subscription boxes. So they always come in this gorgeous paper, which I do use for other projects. And look, they're absolutely packed. See, there's so much stuff in here. The lovely thing is they're all curated, so they always have a bit of a theme. You'll get matchy, makes it easier. So let's have a look through. We've got some little cling stamps, these gorgeous rubber stamps. And then we've got these lovely these are like little washi stickers, a little pad, and they're all different. So if you have a little look through, see how they're just slightly see-through? And then I'll just flip through them so that you can see in this particular one, they're all different designs and they're strips from seed packets. So that's pretty cute, lots of colours, and I love flowers. So I'll get lots of use out of these, and quite handy having them in a system like that. Now next, got these gorgeous little papers. So in the front, there are all these lovely colours, and then in the back they've got like a craft background. So the same design, two of everything in the front, two of everything in the back, same designs, just with the lovely craft background on them. So this has kind of given me lots of ideas too for other pieces that I have that we could make these for ourselves. So anyway, you'll see something I do with those afterwards. This lovely little sheet of stamps, always very cute. I love the envelope these come in. The stickers, they sort of have this, gold, and they're quite shiny, so not the thing that I use a lot of, although you can always fix them by putting matte pieces over them, and sometimes you do need a bit of shine. But look at the gorgeous envelope. I find that I often use a lot of Amanda's packaging. It's just beautiful. Now, these are always beautiful, these little pads of papers, and you'll get usually sticker sheets, regular paper, the glassine vellums, and a textured piece of paper. So that's really nice too, because you can, build on the exact same color theme with all different kinds of textures, or, do all sorts of other things with them as well. These are some lovely little cards. So these will be fantastic as really simple, quick journal cards. I don't actually have to do anything with them. They're kind of like, calling cards of old. You can imagine these with stamps all over them. Lots of lovely designs, two of each. It's always nice to get a repeat. Now this is pretty cool. Seems like this is one that they've designed themselves, and this is actually a sheet of stickers. So there's all different shapes out of this one lovely sheet, which actually has a bit of texture. See, when I hold it up to the light, you can see all the different shapes. There's leaves, there's stamps, there's circles, so I'll have a lot of fun with that. This is one of those lovely little packs of different sizes of paper, and each one has the paper piece and a vellum piece in the same pattern. So that's pretty cool. I loved that when I opened it up. I found they didn't quite match on top of each other, but you can get them to exactly the same. So that's lovely. Washi tape. There's usually a washi tape in Amanda's kits, which is always lovely. Then some stamps. Now, even though this is crinkled on the back, it still works beautifully. This lovely little pad. Now, these are all shiny, but they are so beautiful. I know I will use these. They are just divine, and there's all different ones. So there's sort of all lots of postcards, and then towards the back, different pages as well, different texts, different little signage and ad looks. So yeah, loads and loads in there. This is a lovely little box of labels and tags, all lavender, but they're all embossed. So beautiful feel on the paper in these, and they've got kind of a fleck through them, but yeah, all beautifully embossed. So I know I'll get lots of use of these. And again, sometimes all I might do is just grab one of these. I may round the corners, or I may leave them. I may pop a bit of, inking around the edge just to go with the theme of whatever journal I'm using. I find these kind of little things, just having them around, fantastic, because I can just pop them into anything. And I love that they're sort of a lavender colour. I like that. Really lovely. So yeah, all of that in this little box. So as you can see, beautifully curated, and it has an abundance of pieces in it that you can play with. So I used one of those tag cards, and then one of those little vellum pieces, I decided I'd staple it over the top. This is just a little something something that I can, put into a little pocket in one of my journals. I used one of those little vellum strips just to have like a little, what do you call that, make it look like a little spine. Just snip them slightly down. I also snipped the front of the vellum just to make it open slightly in from the card. And I figured then that makes a little writing card that someone can have inside. Just to pull it together, I did a little stamping on the top. By the way, that's just to prove how beautifully that big stamp stamps. Isn't it gorgeous, the design? All right, so the next thing I decided to make from the kit, this is just to show you how easy it is to pull things together when Amanda sends these out. I use them often to just decorate a whole journal because I know they all go together. On this one, I used the papers that were in there, and I used the textured one for the outer cover. I used a vellum piece for the inside, and then I just cut some other of the plain pattern pages down, and in between I cut down some of the, the tissue paper that it all came in. So easy. I simply did 3 little hole punches. So I did a flat hole punch, a flat 3 pamphlet stitch. Instead of through the spine, I did it just flat with a ribbon like this. So as I said, just a simple 3 hole. Don't do this at home, kids. Yes, that is a knife that I'm pushing through because I was too lazy to find my pokey tool. Yeah, that was a very dangerous way to do that. So don't repeat that. Anyhow, yeah, just popped a ribbon through, used it as a bit of a 3-hole pamphlet just so it gave it a bit more structure, and that's held all those pages in nicely. And I did a simple knot and a bow, and voila, there's a little booklet. You could add some more decoration to the front. Those pages are so beautiful that it's nice with just that. I mean, I inked slightly around the edges, but really that was all I did. And I have an instant little notebook. Isn't that cute? So you could write on the back of the pages, and you've got the lovely pattern on the front of the pages. I don't know. I just felt like that was a cute little thing. You could do it in any shape. The fact that you've got all of those, that little pack of papers that all go with each other, and that lovely neutral tissue paper just works really well. So next I grabbed one of those, what I'm calling cards. I rounded the corners, made it a bit of my own. I put a little stamp in the middle on the front, added a bit more ink, smudged it because my hands were dirty. So then I went and cleaned my hands. And then on the back, I used one of those little stamps. And then I just did a little, one of the sticky stamps. And then I did the ink stamps just to add a little bit around the back so someone could still write some notes on it. Now, I accidentally turned the camera off, or rather it had run out of battery as I was showing you how to do the vellum envelope, but you get the gist. I did a little vellum envelope that could just slip inside, and that was out of those same pages again. And all I did was just put a little bit of, what do you call that stuff? Lace on it. But this is my favorite. Oh my goodness. I'm going to repeat this with my own papers by photocopying them onto a different coloured page so that then I've got 2 tones of the same design to do this. I made little pockets that I can stick into journals using 2 little pages in those packets. I decided I'd fold it over just so that I get a slightly smoother lip there on the pocket. And then I'm going to run a piece of double-sided tape down, and I just tore it up against the double-sided tape. So see a piece of double-sided tape just so I can fold it over, and then I tore off the excess before I stuck the double-sided tape down. Quite simple, because that's hidden inside. You'll see this once it comes together, and that forms the lip of the pocket. I thought I'd do a little thumb hole in it. So see how it matches in? Isn't that the cutest thing? So then when you take out whatever you put in the pocket, you can see the design continues still. I don't know. I just think that's a really cool effect. So I worked out roughly the middle. I did a teeny tiny little thumb hole in these using a little half circle. And then I stuck them down. I stuck a few down using double-sided tape around 3 sides. I did one that I used glue around the 3 sides. So yeah, it doesn't actually matter how you do that. And probably the hardest bit in this little project is just making sure that you line it up so that you get that nice effect so that the pattern continues across the 2 different pages. I don't know. I just really love these. And in fact, looking at these 3 that I made up, I'm going to have to go and, I think, use the whole rest of the packet and make the rest of them. So as you can see, I did this little butterfly and the little dragonfly as well. The dragonfly, I put the craft on top. The butterfly, I put the craft underneath, you know, the brown coloured paper. And yeah, these 2, I just did the pockets that way because that was the way that the design worked out on those. And then right at the end, I worked out all of these would actually go in beautifully into the actual booklet that I made out of the papers. So I've kind of made a whole journal out of the pack, and I've still got heaps more that I can use. So yeah, if you're thinking about your creative studio, stuff that lasts forever, or you can do the subscription boxes, you know, and get them, I think it's monthly. And yeah, lots of fun. So there's the little booklet that I did again. And you can see the pockets and the little envelope. And then I've also got that little note card that I did first up while I was trying to think of things. See how they all just go in that booklet really nicely. And I didn't plan that, but all the colours go together. So, you know, as you're making them, you could come up with something completely different. So nice and thin because it's all papers. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope if you do have the kits that this gives you a few ideas on some of the things you might put together too. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!